And that 30-day period, I just want to talk about that really quick because I know that's not common.
Right.
When you're meeting somebody. But again, I had just come off a sabbatical and I was totally focused. I saw her, very beautiful picture. I told you what I felt, but now I have to take it a step further. I got to find out what's here.
Okay.
All right. And so I wanted to hear her out. And for 30 days, that's what I did. We did not see each other in person. We didn't FaceTime. I just wanted to talk. Because my thing was, if we can't talk and converse, that's going to tell me a lot. But I just want to hear her heart and hear where she is. Because again, I don't want to be distracted by all of this. I don't.
Yes, very beautiful.
And I wanted to distract him.
I'm just being honest.
Can I be honest? I wanted to distract him.
They say you want different results, you gotta do something different.
Exactly. No.
So
It was tough. That was a part of our sacrifice, though, man.
Yeah.
That is a tough. That's our sacrifice.
I know she felt like this guy don't want to see me. And guess what? It wasn't that. But again, this is when you courting and you pursuing with intention.
Yeah.
I knew what my plan was.
Yes.
I knew what I wanted, and I knew how I had to get there, what I needed to do to get there. So we talked for 30 days. It was phenomenal. It was.
That's awesome.
Hours upon hours. She used to make comments about that. I know we've been on this phone 3 hours, so we'll talk 3 hours go by. Because she's not a huge phone person. But we talked for hours upon hours, and we connected
and laughed.
We might have cried.
Aww.
Went through every emotion, talking about our past, and we shared so much. And that's so important.
Yes.
It's so important. We mentioned our celibacy journey, and I shared with her that this is the journey I want to be on because, again, I didn't want that distraction. I don't care what the world say, God way works. It works. It really does.
Yeah.
The reason why we've gotten to know each other so much is because we chose that journey.
Right.
All right. Because we didn't have that, it forced us to really get to know each other, really find out, how we think, what we like, our dislikes. Like we really tapped into each other with the absence of that. So we're here to let y'all know you can make it. You can make it through celibacy. I don't care what the world say, what anybody say. I know we live in a society where everything's about testing the waters, but I'm telling you, if you do it God's way, if you include God in it, He'll lead and guide you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Have sex before marriage and do all those things to test what. You just trust God. You pray to God. You seek God. He'll let you know which route you need to go and how you need to proceed. So we did that, and then I set up a meet and greet. I didn't even call it the first date. Okay. I said, let's have a meet and greet. We don't talk for 30 days. Let's meet up.
He was still trying me out. Let me see how you look now.
Yeah. Let's meet. I told her this is not a date. This is a meet
and greet.
You sound good. Now I just want to see if how we vibe and if that all comes together in person and it did. So I got so excited. We went to a restaurant up near Cumberland and I sat there with so much excitement. She had pulled up and on the way there I FaceTimed her for the first time.
Wow.
On her way coming into the restaurant. I couldn't even wait.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
I was like, why are you FaceTiming?
He needs to make sure.
He was nervous. He don't know if he thought I was that Browns man again. I don't know. He was like, flip it out. I was like, he was nervous. And he had the biggest smile on his face. And he led this whole thing. And that's another thing that, when you're dating, look for someone who leads and drives the relationship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And drive and moves with a pursuit. Ladies that pursues and that is intentional and consistent, and that is a leader. Because he was leading this whole thing, and it was tough. I had never met anybody that would wanted to wait to meet me. I'm not trying to be, I think everybody just used to going on dates.
Yeah,
like that's just the
immediately.
standard.
Yeah,
Immediately. Like, you sound cool, let's go eat. Let's go.
What's the problem?
But he was like, no, I'm so thankful that he did it that way because we were able to connect spiritually, emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Way before we ever connected physically because we had so much time where we were so deep in those other areas. And, God won't fail you, just like my husband said.
Yeah.
He will not. So it was great. So we saw each other, we sat across the room, and it was actually very natural. It was nervous. Okay. But this is somebody I had been talking to for a month on the phone. Okay. So it was still him. Yeah. But now I'm looking at him a lot. It was honestly like those blind dates. Like I'm like looking at all his features and everything. And we held hands one moment real quick across the
so
table,
beautiful.
and he walked me out and he gave me this long hug, and it was like a up under here hug. You know what I'm saying? It was very strange. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would think it would be strange.
It was strange because I don't know. To me, you know how somebody hug you too long and you like, okay, it's enough. It was still a first. It was still a first date, like a first meet and greet. So I'm like, he done held me a little long now, you know.
So she actually said okay.
I said okay.
You said okay.
She said okay. I was like,
okay,
and it kind of took me out the moment, but I
was
told her,
sweet.
in that moment, I was claiming what I believe to be mine.
Oh, that's so amazing.
That's what she didn't know that was happening.
Wow, confirmation. That was your confirmation hug.
It was just.
I knew it.
I just felt
Well,
like
I didn't know. I thought it was
I'm like,
strange.
this is gonna be something special, and
Yeah.
I was feeling that in the moment. And once I laid eyes on her, along with our conversation, I said, this is gonna be something special.
That
And
is
so
awesome.
I got caught up in the moment and I hugged. I did, and I'm just thanking God in that moment. I went somewhere,
That was his way of saying it.
and she was like, okay. So I heard her say, okay. Now he's about so I'm not hugging no more. The arms kind of go like this, and I'm just, I'm like, oh my bad.
How long was the hug?
So I had to snap out of
A
it.
minute?
It was a long hug. It wasn't no minute, but it was a long hug with nighttime. I had Jet met her, we met online. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all are funny.
But he my whole husband now. And it was the best decision I ever made.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so good. I wanted to touch bases on your Bible study. You host Bible study
First
Thursday. And in your most recent Bible study, you mentioned that pleasing God is different from loving God. And you touched on a little bit on how obedience is tied to loving God. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, it's simple. It's when you truly love God, and this is according to His word, so this is His truth. Then you obey Him. And that's what the word says. If you love me, you obey me. And what I have learned is on my journey with God, my personal journey with God, I have believed in God since I was a young girl. That was something that was installed in us, in me from my parents, and going to church. But I hadn't always obeyed God with the intentionality and the weight of following the word that I do today. It is even beyond reading. It's not reading. It's not even necessarily singing. It is a life. It's a living. It's weight. To obey God is to really take on what He says as the truth for you, no matter what your feelings say, no matter what your friends say, no matter what your desires are. And I think in that Bible study, what I was saying is that, people say, oh, you gotta, do what's best for you. You're really supposed to be doing what's best for God if you're a believer in Christ Jesus, if you love God. And so love is expressed through obeying.
Good.
Nothing, no matter what I do, God will always love me. I believe that. He said, if you make your bed in hell, I'll be there, which, you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing, I can't do anything to earn more love, but I can do things to please Him. And He desires that. And the scenario I gave was my child, I'm saying nothing you can do could make me love you any more or less, but you're responsible for how pleased I am with you. So that's the difference between loving and pleasing. And that transfers into relationships. As you live with someone and you say that you love them, if you are not working, if you just say, oh, I love you, that's just the moment I start to realize this is what my husband needs, this is what pleases my husband, this is what if I do this, that's me intentionally work. There's a work involved, and we like to believe in Christianity, and we ain't gotta work. You know what I'm saying? Because we got salvation. Yes, our salvation is secure, but there are rewards. You know what I'm saying? In heaven and on earth. That's why He rewards for obedience. And there's safety in that. There's the reward of safety, the reward of peace, the reward of joy. You know what I'm saying? The reward of like James started, I was talking about a successful marriage. You can do it your way, but let's talk about marriages that, you know what I'm saying, last and that are happy and that's built on that foundation. And so, in this, it's like I gotta, you know, as I love him more, I am working to do what pleases my husband.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I mean. It's more, love is working.
Yes.
That's when I really started to love God. I really started to do what God says because I loved him so much and I didn't want to disappoint him. Like, I don't want to hurt my husband. That's why I work to please him, because I don't want to hurt him, because I love him. That's what we do in relationships with people that we love.
That's awesome. Beautifully said. I really appreciate your time and perspective. I know we are approaching time, and if you don't mind just letting the audience know where they can connect with you on social media. Love to have you back again. I'm sure you'll have people reaching out to you for potential advice, and I know you guys are working on some projects that we know is going to really please the kingdom, so excited to hear more about that.
Well, like I said, you can find me at It's Tiffany Jones on IG, and that will have the link to Bible study and my website and all things Tiffany Jones.
Awesome.
Oh, James D. Jones, that's the one. You can find me on there, and I'm on Facebook as James D. Jones as well, so pretty easy to look up. Just make sure you include the D as the middle name, because there's a ton of James Jones out there. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Yeah.
This was heartfelt, and it will impact so many people who are not only seeking a relationship with God or just seeking a potential partner in having a kingdom marriage. So I thank you for your presence. Thank you for your wisdom and advice. It's helped so many people, including myself.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank y'all. And you can locate Universal Mind Shift on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. And that's a wrap. Thank you.